Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I am Biggie Sweats, and today I'm bringing you the Enhanced Shaman guide for Mythic Dungeons and Raiding. This is a beginner guide, and it's going to show you all you need to know to jump straight into your endgame PvE content. It's going to range from talents to conduits to soulbinds, everything you need to make this spec work. This channel is growing tremendously, and I want to thank you for all the views, the subs, and the likes and the comments that you guys are giving. Let's aim for 300, but let's get straight into this guide. Boom! So first up, we're going to be talking about legendaries and covenants. Now, for Mythic Dungeons, your covenant of choice is going to be Necro Lord, and this is going to give you the primordial wave spell for your rotation. Now, the two main legendaries to accompany Mythic Dungeons and your Necro Lord covenant are going to be your Unity belt, which you get from Zereth Mortal's questline, and this is going to give you splintered elements. Each additional lightning bolt generated by primordial wave, your main covenant spell, increases your haste by 10% for 12 seconds. You're going to accompany that with primal lava acuitors. Each time flame shock deals periodic damage, it increases the damage of your next lava lash by 12% and reduces the cooldown of lava lash by 0.5%. so flame shock is a dot, and every time that ticks, it's going to increase the damage and reduce the cooldown of your lava lash overall, which is a main spell in your rotation. These are your two major legendaries that you're going to be running for Mythic Dungeons, and you're going to want to craft the primal lava ones on your wrist. So, next up, we're going to talk about Mythic raiding and raiding in general, single target environments and whatnot. So, raiding legendaries and covenant of choice. So your raiding covenant is going to be Night Fae. Now, I don't do a lot of raiding on this character, but I've researched all the information that you guys will need, and I'm going to whack it into the video. So, Night Fae covenant for raiding and single target environments with the legendaries of Unity belt, obviously, as always, because you have that on everything. So, you're going to get Seeds of Rampant Growth. So, Seeds of Rampant Growth. Each pulse of Fey Transfusion, which is your Covenant ability. Each pulse of Fey Transfusion damage effect reduces the cooldown of Fell Spirit by 9 seconds and increases your critical strike chance by 4% for 15 seconds. So, this is your Unity belt that you get from Zereth Mortal's and will replace your Splintered Elements when you go over to Night Fae. So, the single target legendary that you're going to be going for is Witch Doctor's Wolf Bones. So, what this does, increases the chance to gain a stack of Maelstrom Weapon by 3%, and whenever you gain a stack of Maelstrom Weapon, the cooldown of Feral Spirits is reduced by 2 seconds. So this single target build sort of revolves a lot around your Feral Spirit ability, which summons 2 wolves, and obviously they fight with you and amongst other stuff. So this is your main CD as an Enhanced Shaman, and obviously this affects that. Next up, we're talking about conduits and soulbinds and who you're going to go with for Mythic Dungeons. So we are Necro Lord in this environment, and we're going with Plague Deviser Merilith. It's a nice change from seeing every DPS spec go Dreamweaver and Night Fae. So Plague Deviser Merilith, and we're starting off with Volatile Solvent into Magma Fist. Lava Lash is an additional 31% critical strike chance against enemies affected by your Flame Shock. So this build is very much centered around Flame Shock and Lava Lash, as it also pairs with your legendaries from the first part of the video that affects all that as well. Then we're going to go into Ooze Fictioner's Coating, then into Vital Accretion, which affects your Earth Elemental. Earth Elemental summons a big rock golem, Earth Elemental, and what that does, it can take aggro off the tank, helping in them environments, but with this conduit, it actually affects your health, so it makes it a great defensive tool for you. 34% maximum health is a huge chunk of health that you can gain. Then we're going to go into Plague-Born Cleansing Slime, then into Focused Lightning. Maelstrom Weapon increases the damage or healing of your next spell by an additional 10% per stack, which can be huge. Then we're going to go straight into a defensive conduit. Your healing surge is 20% more effective on yourself, so if you need to heal yourself, because Healing Surge can proc during fights, making it instant cast. So, and increasing its effectiveness against yourself is a huge, huge defensive cooldown that you can use to just survive these harder and higher keys. Then we're going to go straight into Ultimate Form, then right into Tumbling Wave, which is a potency conduit. This affects Primordial Wave, which is your main Covenant spell. Primordial Wave has a 31% chance to not incur its cooldown, so it can be used again, basically. So you use it, no cooldown, and you can use it again. Obviously, this chance raises the higher this conduit level is. I don't have the higher conduit level for this. Then we're going to go straight into undulating maneuvers, then straight into totemic surge. So the cooldown of tremor totem, earthbind totem, and capacity totem are reduced by 11 seconds. So these are all utility totems. So tremor totem stops spells being cast, earthbind totem slows, and capacitor totem is a straight out stun. Then we're going to go straight into Kevin's Oozling. Now these are your mythic dungeon conduits and Soulbinds. The Radiant one is going to be very different, so I'm going to show you that as well. But use these to be extremely effective in your mythic dungeon environments. And a little tidbit, the highest rated IO shaman right now is an Enhanced Shaman. So, you know, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Next up, Soulbinds and conduits. The Soulbind of choice is going to be Dreamweaver, which is very common for DPS classes. We're going to go Pod Tender into Vital Accretion. We already spoke about this in the Mythic Plus section. It is a flat-out defensive and survivability increase. Earth Elemental increase your maximum health by 38%. Then we're going to go into Focused Lightning. Maelstrom Weapon increases the damage or healing of your next mob by an additional percentage per stack. Flat out damage or flat out survivability increase. Then into Soothing Voice, and then into Magma Fist. Lava Lash has an additional percentage critical strike chance against enemies affected by your Flame Shock. So everything affected by your dot basically increases the critical strike chance. Then we're going to go into any endurance conduit, which is when you take any damage, heal for a percentage of your maximum health. This can only occur every 10 seconds. So this is just a flat out defensive, flat out survivability increase for single target environments where you might take a big hit of damage every few seconds. Then into Somnambulist, then straight into Field of Blossoms, then into Essential Extraction, which reduces the cooldown of your main Covenant spell, Fey Transfusion, by a certain amount. Then straight into Waking Dreams, then Thunderous Pause. So Ghost Wolf increase your movement speed by an additional 36% for 3 seconds. May only occur once every 60 seconds. So this is just pure utility, pure movement speed to get you out of any sticky environments or sticky situations you might have when raiding. And then we're finishing with Dream Delver. These are your raiding Soulbinds, conduits, and Soulbinds. So now I'm going to be showing you the talents for Mythic Dungeons and how to be effective in your AoE environments. Now the whole build centers around Lava Lash and Flame Shock as your main 2 abilities, and it pairs well with your Legendary. The first talent we're going to go is Lashing Flames. Lava Lash now increases the damage of your Flame Shock on its target by 100% for 20 seconds. Again, pairing well with the Legendary and everything you've got going on with this build. Then we're going to go into Hot Hand. Melee auto attacks with Flame Tongue weapon active have a 5% chance to reduce the cooldown of Lava Lash by 75% and increase the damage of Lava Lash by 100% for 8 seconds. Now this is as simple as turning on your weapon imbue for Enhanced Shaman. It literally puts a spell on your weapon for 60 minutes and that is it. That is it. Passive effect, and then that reduces the cooldown of your main spell. Like, you can't really go wrong with having that talent selected. Next up, third row is always utility. You can choose this on personal preference and the situation that dictates, but most people are going with Spirit Wolf. So while transformed into a Ghost Wolf, you gain 5% increased movement speed and 5% damage reduction every 1 second, stacking up 4 times. So you're mostly going to be traveling around in your Spirit Wolf form, so when you go into fights, these effects are going to be active. We're next going to go into Fire Nova, which gives you an AoE type spell. Erupt a burst of fiery damage from all targets affected by your Flame Shock, dealing 1,459 fire damage to up to 6 targets within 8 yards of your Flame Shock target. So this basically just makes every target you've got Flame Shock on explode for AoE damage. Very much needed if you're doing Mythic Dungeons. Next up is another utility row, and we're going to be going with Nature's Guardian this time. When your health is brought below 35%, you instantly heal for 20% of your maximum health. Cannot occur more than once every 45 seconds. So this basically works as a cheat death. When you hit a certain threshold of health, you will instantly gain back 20%. And a 45-second cooldown on that is not too shabby, considering how long it takes to get through packs and certain areas of dungeons. This is a great one to have if you're doing higher keys and need that cheat death mechanic. We're next going to be talking about Sundering, which adds another AoE spell. Shatters a line of earth in front of you with your main hand weapon, causing so much damage and incapacitating any enemy hit for 2 seconds. So it's basically a little stun along with some AoE damage. And then finally, Elemental Spirits reduces the cooldown of Feral Spirit by 30 per seconds, your main CD, and causes your Feral Spirits to be imbued with fire, frost, or lightning, enhancing your abilities. So this basically reduces the CD of a main CD. These are the talents you will be taking in Mythic Dungeons. These haven't changed in a while, and they are perfect for AoE environments. I don't know if you heard my dog just barking just then. So next up, Raiding talents, single target talents. So the changes are slight from the Mythic Dungeon ones. So we're going to swap Lashing Flames out for Elemental Blast. Harness the raw power of elements, dealing a certain amount of damage and increasing your critical strike or haste by 3% or mastery by 6% for 10 seconds. So this just adds a spell which can be cast in your rotation for increases in flat out damage. Then we're going to go into Hot Hands, which stays the same. Then Spirit Wolf. Again, you can choose whatever you like, but I still think Spirit Wolf in this situation is the best. Then Elemental Assault. So Storm Strike damage is increased by 15%, and Storm Strike now generates 1 stack of motion weapon. So Storm Strike is your main spender, your main hit, a part of your main rotation along with Lava Lash. Then Nature's Guardian, which again in a raiding environment I think is needed, as it's just a flat out defensive. If you drop below, it's going to help the healers out because you just heal yourself. Sundering stays, although the stun is pretty pointless on a raid boss, just the flat out damage is great. And then obviously reducing the cooldown and increasing the elemental damage and stuff for your abilities with Elemental Spirits is very much needed for single target environments. These are your talents for raiding. Very simple, small changes, and that's going to give you your most effective single target damage. So next up, we're talking about the juicy preparation, and that is stat prio, gems, enchants, and consumables, everything you need to prepare yourself for these environments in game. So stat prio is agility, haste, mastery, verse, and then crit in that order. Agility reigns king, just like the Demon Hunter. So item level is your best play. Keep increasing that item level, keep increasing that agility, and your DPS will get higher. So there isn't really any breakpoints when it comes to enhancement. So I would suggest simming your character. Always sim, always sees what better in your given environments. Agility, again, reigns king in every situation. So simming to see what stats you need to bring up or put down is perfect. So, of course, gems is next. Now, I would suggest going to the quick jewel cluster. This is going to increase your haste. I'll put up all the pictures you need on screen to show you what's going on. So quick jewel cluster, but I would sim your character again to see what is necessary, as Enhancement Shaman is one of them ones that differs depending on the situation that you're in. So quick jewel cluster for your gem slot. Then your rings are going to be the Tenet of Haste, and then your main hand is Celestial Guidance, with your offhand being Sinful Revelation. Your boots are Eternal Agility, your chest is Eternal Skirmish, and your cloak is Fortified Avoidance. But again, as in every video, there is many cloak enchants that you can choose from depending on your situation you are in. Consumables are going to be Spectral Flask of Power. Every DPS class uses this. Then Potion of Spectral Agility. Cosmic Healing Potion for your extra healing and your survivability. Now, Enhance does not use weapon oils. It uses its Wind Fury weapon and its Flame Tongue weapon. You just put them on and you get the bonuses for 60 minutes. Food is Feast of the Gluttonous Hedonism, but that's if you are lucky to have someone in the group that has them, or if you've got the gold, you can buy them yourself. If not, you want to go Tenebrous Crown Roast Aspic, and of course Veiled Ornaments if you can afford them, and the Eternal one, which is permanent if you can get that. So as always, before we move on to the rotation section of the video, I'm going to tell you what you can target with your juicy Puzzling Cartel Dinar currency. So you want to be aiming for the Domination's Deliverance, which is the Jailer weapon, and then the First Sigil, which is the Pantheon Trinket, then Titanic Ocular Gland, which is off Eye of the Jailer, and then the Stone Legion Heraldry, which is off Stone Legion in Nafria. These are your 4 that you're going to be going for, starting with the Jailer weapon. Crucifane Vein Ripper has its niche uses, but go with Domination's Deliverance. So next up, we're going to be talking about the single target rotation of this class. I'm already in the Night Phase zone, so it's easy to do the single target one first before we move on to the AoE one. So your time will be spent juggling your different strike cooldowns, such as Storm Strike and Lava Lash, and using Frost Shock. Any space in between can be filled with low priority stuff like Crash Lightning, and make sure you're refreshing Flame Shock always on your target. In between this, you can be using your stacks of Melch Weapon on Lightning Bolt, and that is sort of the premise of this. There's a few things you can do in preparation before a fight or during the start of a fight, which I'm going to show you now. So we're going to be using lightning shield at the start, and then your party gets affected by a Enhanced Shaman because they have access to something called a Wind Fury totem. So summons a Wind Fury totem with a 5 health at the feet of the caster for 2 mins. Party members within 30 yards have a 20% chance when they their main hand or attack to swing an extra time. So this is great for melee DPS. This is why you put an enhance in the group of melee DPS. So we're going to jump straight in. So like I said, lightning shield. We're going to drop the Wind Fury totem on the floor, as you can see right here. I'm going to start by blasting my trinket, throwing my cooldown of Feral Spirit into Flame Shock, Fey Transfusion, which is the main Night Fae ability, into a proc Elemental Blast, into a proc Lava Lash, into a proc Lightning Strike, again Lava Lash, Lightning Strike, Lava Lash while it's still proc, and Storm Strike again. Then we're going to use Lightning Bolt, Sundering as there's no procs up, Lava Lash, Storm Strike, always using them like vice versa. Then into a Frost Shot, which is on the target, low priority Crash, Elemental Blast because it's procced, Storm Strike, Lava Strike, back to back, Flame Shock again, low priority Crash, and then using procs. It's about using them procs on back to back, using like Flame Strike, Storm Strike, Elemental Blast on proc, you know, keeping Frost Shock up on the target, keeping Lava up on the target, using your Lightning Bolts when Maelstrom's up. And then you can always use your Earth Elemental as well, obviously for defensives, bit of extra damage, taking the aggro in dungeons and whatnot. So that is the premise of it. It's not the most complex rotation. Just use your CD sort of on cooldown. Always use your procs, but make sure you're back to back in with Lava Strike, Flame Strike, Elemental Blast on cooldown when it procs, and obviously Lightning Bolt to spend your Maelstrom. It's as simple as that. Obviously, Mythic dungeon environments, you're going to be swapping Lightning Bolt for Chain Lightning. But as you can see, very simple rotation, nothing hard to learn. You can easily get this down. It's a very proc heavy class. Very proc heavy class with your CDs on cooldown and just keeping a few dots up every now and then. Now we're going to move on to the AoE rotation back in the Necrolord Covenant zone. Okay, so the final portion of the video is the AoE rotation for your Enhancement Shaman. Few changes. We're back in the Necrolord Covenant area because we just swapped back for Mythic Dungeon stuff. Changed a few talents around, and now we're going to go in. So, as always, Lightning Shield on yourself, straight into Wind Fury. We're going to pop a Fleshcraft. This is preparation. Full Fleshcraft into my own trinket. Feral Spirits, Primordial Wave, Crash, Sundering, Storm Strike because it proc, Lava Lash because it proc, back to back, don't use the same ones. Lightning Bolt, then Crash again. Crash is going to be used a lot more in these situations. Lava Lash, proc Storm Strike, then a Crash again. We're going to put Frost Shock on the target, bit of Chain Lightning, Lava, Crash, Storm, Frost, making sure Flame Shock is on the target, proc Lightning Bolt, Crash, and then we're going to use a boom, Fire Nova, obviously making sure we got Flame Shock around on more targets for Fire Nova. So again, small, easy, simple rotation. It's very similar, but you're gonna be crushing more, and you're gonna be chain lightning a bit more, and you're gonna be using Fire Nova to explode them flame shocks that you got on your targets. Very easy, very simple rotation. Obviously, if you have any comments, anything you want to see, any classes you want to see, then please drop it below, or any information. I will try my best to give it. I do my research heavily on these things before filming them. So yeah, that is the AoE rotation for the Enhanced Shaman. And as always, it's been an absolute pleasure filming this video. Thank you for everything on the current YouTube. The grind is going so well. It's been a pleasure getting to chat with you all and make these videos. So thank you again. I hope this has helped. I hope this gets you into your PvE environments that you need to do. I am Biggie Sweats. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. And come and check us out over on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 PM to 10 PM BST. It'll be a pleasure to see you there. But until next time, peace!